What is going on? Another episode of Opinions from Offside. Can you believe it? Episode 10, mate. Episode
Double
10.
digits.
Ridiculous.
Double digits.
Ridiculous. Now we're getting there. How are you? All right?
I'm all good. It's a lovely warm day out in the sunshine of Tenerife.
Warm? Mate, that is an understatement. I feel like I could cook an egg on my chest. I don't know if anyone would eat that. All the hairs in it and that.
Well, so you need my waxing cream.
Stick your imac. Stick around for more. Stick around for more recipes from Michael. Right. How's the legs from Monday? You got any aches?
No, I'm all good. Like I did my stretch offs. I was impressed with you doing the splits though. Jesus Christ.
Did you not know I could do that?
No, like it's one thing. No, even knowing someone could do it, just seeing someone just drop that low. Like Jesus Christ, I thought I was in a nightclub.
Well, I didn't. I wasn't even wearing my tassels. I can drop all the way down and do the box splits. It comes from teaching martial arts and that for years and boxing and stuff. So I've always been able to do it, and I'm obviously in my 40s now and can still do it. And I like to keep that like suppleness and whatever. If I'm in the gym, like the steam room or the sauna, around, I like to be able to do it just so that I can still do it and keep that flexibility. But there's an entertainer here called Sam Philip Cox. You must know of him. Yeah. So we were outside a bar once, and he used to be a dancer. He's like a slight fella, and he was like messing about and doing all things like that. And I said to him, I can do that. And he laughed because I'm a big fella and all that. And I went, go on, and you go first. And he did it. And to be honest, I had a few bevies, so I was showing off. So I just dropped from a standing position, bang, into the splits, right? But I hit the floor hard. And I didn't make a thing of it at a time. I just like retracted my legs and stood back up again. And he was just like, bro, I didn't know you could do that, right? Then we walked away with Steph, and I went, I've really hurt myself. Right? She went, you could do the splits. What's the matter? I said, because I've had a few drinks. I just flopped down really hot, mate. The next morning, not only did I smash my nuts on the pavement, right, which was bad enough, I had purple bruises on the insides of my thighs. Because it was literally groin on fire, but like from standing 6 foot, bang, bang, like that on the pavement. So that'll teach me to show off after a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I downed a bottle with a straw in under like a second and a half. Like that, there's no damage to me then. I'm not doing that. Forget that. Jesus Christ.
No bruising your nuts or bruising your inside of your thigh. Right, so today's talking points, we both agreed on this. You've got a couple. Do you want to bring the first one up? Should we talk about the first one? Yeah, so
what we're looking at is the hybrid roles. So back in the day, you had the Lothar Matthäus doing the libero role, attacking from centre back. Then we've got the Makelele role, which is like more defence and centre midfield.
Between that, we also had Matthias Sammer.
Yeah, Matthias Sammer, what a player! Dortmund,
as a sweeper. Yeah, as a sweeper, and he used to come up and score a lot of goals, didn't he?
Yeah, really, really good. And then recently we've had the false nine of Spain, and then we've had with Pep and Klopp the fullback centre midfielder. So they've all developed. So what are your thoughts? Any particular that jump out at you, or anything you think I wouldn't mind trying that?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few things. Another one you didn't mention there is Stones coming into the midfield from the back as an auxiliary extra midfielder. It's a case. I think both of those moves, the hybrid right back and the hybrid centre back, I think both of them, the benefits are twofold. One, you get an extra man in midfield. The other thing is the likes of when you've got Trent in there. Bobby's got an opinion on it. Bobby the dog. The dog got an opinion.
Stop.
He's chewing
his toy, but he's putting the stuff in there. Now he's annoyed.
Oh no, poor Bobby. I think the other thing is when you've got a great passer on the ball like Trent, allowing him to get into midfield, he can really do some damage from there. Whereas I think Stones is more not for the elaborate passing and the through balls and doing damage. I think that's the extra man, and I think that's dictating and controlling the midfield, dictating the play and dictating the tempo of the passing.
I don't think he agrees.
Do you not think, Bobby? What's your take, mate? Just like chewing up a toy.
Yeah, destroying a toy.
Can you not get him on? We're not going to get a Bobby appearance.
Bobby. No, he thinks I'm playing now. He's got his toys running off. Come on, Bobby Firmino.
Bobby F. Yeah, Bobby F. I mean, the other thing was that the game's changed, hasn't it? Like we were talking off camera about keepers. Like now there's the emergence of like sweeper keeper, if you like, or keepers that are better with their feet, which is wild because when I grew up, like that, before the pass back rule, so you couldn't even like pass it back. Like you used to be able to pass it back to your keeper in the area and he could pick it up and gather it. Like now, like that was a culture shock. What would that have been? Late 80s, early 90s?
Before the Premier League. Remember. Yeah, before I can remember,
before 92 then, so probably late 80s, maybe around 90. I'm trying to fit in the World Cup. No, I think even then, you could play it back as the fullback. You could play it straight back to your keeper, he'd pick it up. That was the end of that phase of play. And then when that changed, there were so many mistakes for the first season because instinctively you'd play it back to the keeper and then they'd either pick it up or they'd panic. And then the centre forward would press and then just kick it out for a throw or kick it into them. Or you were seeing back then when you pass back, people keepers picking it up. You were seeing like free kicks in the box. Yeah. So not a penalty, but an indirect free kick from like 6 yards. So that was mad. Then you had like 11 players on the line, and they couldn't get 10 yards back, so they were on the goal line, the furthest point they could get back. And then 2 or 3 players around the ball, and then everyone crowded for the rebound. And it was like, touch it to me, and I'll try and smash it high into the roof of the net. Like fascinating. So the goalkeepers have had to really develop their game. Like players that wouldn't have even, wouldn't have even been born when that rule change came in. Now actually are really proficient, a lot of them, with their feet. You know, so that's changed. And also, you know, there's more and more coming in now, especially on the continent, especially in Spain, where goalkeepers actually bring the ball further out before they play the first pass to their defender, be it a centre back or a fullback, to almost again be an extra man. What do you think about that?
I mean, I would probably say, like, if you don't use that, you're wasting a position. Like, especially playing the way Spain play. In particular, the Spanish culture of playing is keep the ball for keep the ball's sake, wear them out. Yeah. So having that extra player to be able to play the ball back to, and I think you'd be crazy not to do it now. Like to have a goalkeeper that can play. I mean, you might not want him dropping a shoulder like a Emmanuel Neuer, but you want him to be able to play, pick a pass, like the short to medium accuracy at all times. Like imagine if you've got. I mean, I was always a big believer in. My favourite formation to play was 4-3-3, purely because we're saying, right, you're playing 4-4-2, we'll go man for man, but we will have our spare man in midfield. We'll go man for man at the back. We're confident in our defence. If you're doing that, your goalkeeper's got to be comfortable if you want to play out. You know what I mean? Because he's going to be the spare man. If you are being pressed, you get the ball, you drop off. So I like that. I think goalkeepers should be able to play. I mean, I would say there's no excuse not to nowadays. There's so many different styles and different techniques and different ways for footballers to play. It should be easier. I love the idea of the multi-role sort of thing where you've got like Trent and João Cancelo was the start of it for me. Like he was so good at dropping to that midfield role from left back for Man City. So good. But the goalkeeper part of it, I think you've got to play. I think you've got to be able to play just to help your team. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want him bombing through the middle, going on a run. But, being able to play and just pick a pass would be just so much easier. And having confidence with your goalkeeper's footwork, I can hit you a pass knowing I've not got to put it wide of the target in case you miss it.
Is it risky, though, when a goalkeeper's playing about at the back with his feet, trying to... Because in order for that extra man to work, you sort of need to entice the player towards you.
Yeah.
To make the space... to make it an extra man. Is it risky though? You've seen it mistimed. You've seen people mess that up. And then, like, as they always say, if a goalkeeper makes a mistake, it's fatal.
Well, look at the West Ham Palace game we watched the other day. Anderson made a mistake and it's a goal. So I think from the middle three, your 2 centre-backs and your goalkeeper, I think a mistake from there can be critical. However, I think as a team, you have to weigh up the risk and reward. For the fact that you can tire out their strikers, chasing the ball down, you can create space to maybe break. I think, do you not agree? I think if you can do that, you can suck the players in to get them chasing out, pick the pass, break the lines, and then have your team bombing on the back four or breaking their midfield line. If you're confident and you put the work in, absolutely. I don't think it's one of those things you can just pick up and try, like, all right, let's do this. It's got to be worked on.
Drilled,
every player needs to know. Yeah, like the goalkeepers, like I'm baffled by teams, like, right, so the goal kicks now, they have two centre-backs either side, they play a short, or the centre-back takes the goal kick, right?
That's a weird one.
I like the idea of it, right? I get it, because teams will then either let you play out from the back and pass through them, or they'll press high. But what I don't get, if you're being pressed high, you must have a striker standing on a fullback. Your goalkeeper's got the biggest kick on the pitch. Why are you not just clipping it on the small fullback? Arsenal was the worst for it, right? When they had Aubameyang. Aubameyang would go and stand on the fullback that was the smallest. Aubameyang's a big dude, 6'1", 6'2", big guy, can jump. Then they would refuse to go long. Just, you've got four players on your centre-backs, clip it long, play the second ball. Aubameyang should win the header, get runners off him. Play multiple tactics. Like, if you want to stop us playing, come on then. But then we'll just, every now and again, we're just going to clip it long and have you turned. If you don't want to do it, then we'll play out from the back. Like, it's I think you just need, it needs to be drilled, but if you're going to do it, you need other options. You need ways of doing it. You need ways out. And you defenders must offer. You've got to be offering. You need the midfield option as well. As long as there's options, I think you'd be fine with it. But in most cases, a mistake can happen anywhere. It's just whether it's going to be, it's going to lead to a goal, but then could you score 3 goals from that? That'll be the difference.
Well, surely after it happened once, you plug the gap. Then you make alterations.
For which one? For
like you're saying, if in any case, like if you're saying you couldn't score 3 goals from doing that, for having your forward standing on the fullback and being bigger, as soon as that happens once, whether you score or not, surely a good manager spots that and changes it up. Just before we move on from strikers, we didn't mention a role there, which is known really as to our generation as the Sheringham role. That's got to be a nightmare to play against, hasn't it? In that space between the lines.
I don't know, because if you look at how bad Kane was for England, and that's what he was doing. Maybe if he had, like we spoke about, if he'd have had 2 up top, completely agree.
He had no one running off him, and he had about 65 people in that space, didn't he? All wanted to be
that was it. I mean, playing out here, when we play 11 aside, a lot of the Spanish teams do that. They have that Sheringham player, like they'll have 2 forwards that will stand right on the centre backs, and then one of them will just walk off behind the midfield and just pick up the ball. Like, defenders don't want to come out, and I think that's why when we play, if you played say for example the Aubameyang thing there to clip it to the fullback, centre backs don't want to go out wide. Centre backs are comfortable in the middle. Very rarely do centre backs want to be drifted and be squared up one-on-one with someone to get roasted. So I think they'd try and play for the second ball, but then again, like with the David Moyes thing, managers might make tweaks, but they don't seem to make those sort of changes. So it's difficult. Like, would it happen, or would they wait? Would Moisey wait for it to go out for a corner before he made the change? Like,
probably. Yeah, honestly, you can see it. Like, bless him, he's been a good servant, but Vladimir Coufal was just getting roasted at times, especially against
Jordan Ayew. We played Palace.
But the other night he was getting roasted by Ayew. But when we first came up against who's the Man City's fast left winger? Is it Jeremy Doku?
Doku's he's a very good player.
Just was rinsing him, and he rinsed him for the full 90 minutes. And just you see that, and you think, give him some help, give him some support.
Help him out. Like,
just nothing changed. It just allowed him to have him on toast for the full game, and I don't understand that. What do you think? What's your take on in terms of that right back, that Carl Walker, that Trent Alexander-Arnold hybrid popping into midfield? Am I right about the likes of Trent being able to get on the ball and be a bit more dangerous there, technically?
But I'd say so, yeah. But I think the problem that Southgate had, and this is, I think we've spoken about this separately. If I'm playing centre midfield, there's a midfielder marking there. If I'm playing right back and I step into the centre midfield, the left winger's not coming with me. They're not going to do that. They very rarely do that. So now I've got space and time and I'm unmarked. that's what made Trent so good at that position. He was stepping in there unmarked without the duties of the centre midfielder. So I think we missed the trick there because the teams, especially with England, the teams we were playing teams that had 5 at the back and that were willing to defend deep. So we're putting Trent in there to be marked. Why? Kyle Walker was there as a security thing, but why are we not playing Trent there to do the dangerous things from that side? Or even, I seen someone else talking about it. Why was Trent not on the left instead of Trippier? If you're going to play your best your best fullback right foot on the left, why are we not playing Trent to cause danger there? Yeah. Like it baffled me. So it's one of those things with Trent. I think he does that really well. I think Liverpool's style is suited for him to do that though as well. Like I think we missed Henderson doing that covering work for when he was in that spots, and Henderson used to do a lot of right-sided running as well. I think we've missed that as a team. But I love that position. I mean, I used to do it. I mean, I was up and down when I played right, but that was my position. But every now and again, you drift into the midfield. But mainly, mine was the opposite. Mine wasn't to play. Mine was like, oh, he's got the ball. Let me go and snap him. Like that was my opinion. Like no one would get near him, so I'd be the one to try and get the tackle in. But yeah, I like the idea of it. I think it's the same as like nowadays. You have inside forwards, which are right wingers, left wingers, but like sort of strikers sort of things as well. Like Salah, for example, Mane on the left did it. I like the style of it.
That's relatively new, isn't it? The inverted winger, but now the inverted fullback.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And I'm surprised, like you, when we in the Euros, when we went to the 3/5 at the back, or however you want to see it, I can't believe that Trent weren't right wing back. Because you really want to be pinning these teams back and letting him get in there and threaten and make things happen. You know, he's crossing, he's passing, and we just didn't see that strange old thing.
That's the mad thing about it. We were playing Kyle Walker as the right centre back for his pace to recover in those situations. So surely it would have been perfect to go right. Let's have Trent do this job and do the damage that he does from deep, because we've got Walker's pace and defensive ability to cover that gap.
As the right of a free, on the right of a free.
Yeah. But to put Trippier there, Trippier is a good player, but he for about a month at Newcastle towards the end of the season, he was having a shocker. So you're not picking on form. Then to say the experiment for Trent in centre midfield didn't work, but you can't blame Trent. If someone said to me, listen, I need you to go and play for England, but I need you in goal. Listen, if I can play for England and you need me in goal, I'll go and play in goal. So I don't blame Trent for that, especially when the first game, he created most clear-cut chances in open play. He created 3. If he just didn't take them. So what do you want him to do? That's his game. You're asking him to do a box-to-box sort of thing, but you got Bellingham for that. Put Bellingham in that position. Put Foden back in a 10. Foden's another one. He does sort of like a hybrid there. He'll start in the 10 for City, and then he'll just drift to one of the sides or on the wings and like double up on the man. Like it's such clever play. Such clever play.
Who? Bellingham? Do you mean Foden?
No, Foden. Foden, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Is there not an argument, though, if you're an opposition manager and you're coming against like a Liverpool or a Man City? Of course, they've got better players than most teams. Is there not a tactical argument, though, that you will exploit that positioning, and as soon as you turn over possession, you're trying to get your left winger in that gap that's been vacated by the right back?
Yeah, it seemed teams tried to do it at Liverpool a few times. The best team to do it against us was probably Palace. Palace did really well with it. I think they had, but I don't think they had the player standing there. I think it was Ayew, and what Ayew would do, he'd come back to a certain, say, halfway, or a little bit like that. Then he'd stop. Like he'd be there ready for anything to break, and then he'd be cutting down that side. It worked really well, but then Palace had Eze, who had that ability to switch the pass quite quickly. They had Elise, who could do it. And they had Mateta through the middle, who was just battering, ramming through, and it worked. But the thing is, when it happens a lot, if you have a left winger not coming back, it's risk and reward again. Trent can cause a lot of danger against a left back when you've got Salah dragging him inside and to the left and doing what Salah does. I mean, do you stop Salah or do you stop Trent? Like that's the thing you got to look at. So it's the same like when you look at how City play, for example. You can stop De Bruyne. You might be able to then stop Rodri from passing, but then how do you stop Foden doing his thing? How do you stop Doku doing his thing, or Grealish doing his thing, or Haaland doing his thing. So I think there's only certain ways you can stop so many players. It's just you're leaving space for other people. If you've got a two up on Salah, you can't leave man for man on Trent because then someone else is going to be spare. I think you've just got to be clever with it and hope you get the breaks of the ball, the falls, those little bounces fall for you to give you the chances. Tactically, it's a great idea to try and have someone stand up there, but it's difficult to put into place. Like I say, you don't want Konate going out wide to be roasted one-on-one against someone like Elise or like an RU who's just going to tap and run. But it's all about that delivery. You've got to be clinical. When we were watching Kudos, such good positioning, such good dribbling, that friendly, just end product, like, what are you doing? That's not the pass. Play the right pass. And
it's unusual for him, I tell you. Really is.
Yeah, maybe just not sharp like from pre-season, but it was difficult that because I expected more of him. He looked like he was trying to get away from Mitchell, which was scary. I thought he did have a really good game.
Yeah.
Really good game.
It's a case of, if you're going to play a hybrid role, it's a case again of all your teammates, everybody knowing their role and responsibilities to cover it. Like we spoke in another episode when we had the hypothetical question with the old Chelsea team, like, would you allow your fullbacks to bomb on and what would you do? And actually, it's a similar question has come up this week in the West Ham world with some of the signings we've made now. Lopetegui's talking about having these two centre backs and having really high, really attacking fullbacks, and then a double pivot of CDMs in Guido Rodriguez and Edson Alvarez. And people are saying, that's far too defensive. But what he's talking about doing is really letting both fullbacks go. And instead of, like I was saying the other day, having one of those holding midfields drop in as a free, he literally wants, because both of them can play ball as well, so you've still got the ball playing element in there. He wants both of those CDMs to stay back and almost make up a four centre-backs for when the ball turns over until your fullbacks can get back. Do you know what I mean? Just when you're being countered.
Yeah, I suppose what they'll do, they'll just contain, I'm guessing.
I mean, that's what I said the other day, just containing, because you're providing your fullbacks are athletic enough and quick enough to get back in position as soon as the ball turns over.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of what he's trying to do. The two centre backs will probably be marking one striker. That means so you're outnumbering there. Great. Two centre midfielders, if they're both holding, if there is a 10, again, you're outnumbering them. That's fine. You've got attacking fullback, so you'll be outnumbering the opposite team or man for man in out wide, and then it's just a deliverer. I think that's why he's probably gone for Fulrig then, just because Fulrig will probably get, if he gets 2 chances a game, you'd expect him to take 1. Right?
And,
he's got that sort of clinical in him.
He's also an out ball.
He can hold it.
He's going to hold it up, and he's going to bring people into play, like we were saying Kane should have done.
Yeah.
Like he's needs runners off him. And also, people are saying it's really defensive having 2 CDMs, but I think that allows you to take the handbrake off of free of Kudos, Bowen, Paqueta. Do you know what I mean? Somerville. That allows them to really attack without so much defensive responsibility coming back.
I wouldn't say I think it could be seen as defensive, but I don't think it will be. Especially if he's saying let the fullbacks go, how is that any different to having 4 at the back? You know what I mean? It's the same thing. You just, instead of having your man out wide on the right and out wide on the left to have a straight line, you've got like a box. Okay, if you want to whip the ball out left or out right, sound. One of us will get over there and will contain you until the other players get back. But if that's what he wants to play, then I'm very surprised that you guys, West Ham, are going for Wan-Bissaka then. It's not his game.
No, I agree. I think Carl Walker-Peters would have been a little bit more suited to that.
Yeah.
Although not massively. And I think there's better value and better players for that system out there. So I'm a bit surprised by that. I'm a bit underwhelmed by that. He's a solid player, Wan-Bissaka. He was brilliant. I always think of him, maybe it's a bit harsh. He was brilliant at Palace, and he fell off a little bit at United, and he just reminds me of Zaha, not in playing style, but in that respect. He was like big fish in a small pond. So maybe we're seeing the best of him again.
With Wan-Bissaka, I think the problem he's got, I think Bissaka's issue is the same as Zaha and the same as Maguire's at United. They were bought from teams that played a completely different way.
Yeah.
So you're asking Wan-Bissaka to be destructive and deadly on the ball going forward. But he's never shown those sort of skills or talents. So let him defend, like let him do his thing. Same as Maguire. Maguire was brought in at United from Leicester, who played deep, had pressure being applied in their defenders, which made him go long. So he was just heading the ball out and just organising the line. Then you want him to play on the halfway line and keep a high line and then play from the back. It's not his game. Like Zaha was given the free role at Palace. Listen, you just get on the ball and do your thing. And then he went to United. Like, no, you need to track the fullback. You need to work because there are better players than you to do that. So I think it's one of those things where you've got to buy clever. You've got to buy smart. So this seems a bit crazy that Lopetegui, can't even say it, wants to buy an outright defensive fullback, but wants to take the handbrake off him and let him go forward. But he's not shown that about him. You're probably better off in that situation playing a right midfielder with a bit of defensive mindset in that position.
Bowen could do that.
Someone who's going to go up and down, got the stamina to do that.
He did that all last year anyway. He did that under Moyes. He was like an auxiliary right back. Then he was dangerous attacking. He's got the energy to get up and down all day. I forget what I was going to say now. I've got my point leading on to what you were saying.
Go on.
Mate, that's what it was. You're surprised that Bissaka, maybe he's going to adopt, but it'll be predictable. Maybe he's going to adopt what you were saying. Let one fullback go because we've got Emerson at left back.
Yeah,
who's very good. And we thought he was more of a wing back when he came in, but he's been really good at left back as well. But he can really attack and hurt teams. Maybe one goes, but then you'd need to mix it up. Otherwise, you just plug that right-hand side.
Yeah, listen, if that was the case, you'd be clever with your pressing and your marking. You'd block Emerson from going forward, allow the passes to go into your other centre-backs and switch it to the right back and go, okay, you can attack. We'll let you attack because you're not going to do no damage to us. Like this. Yeah, I think you'd have to have both, unless he's thinking more for options for bigger games or for injuries and having. Or you never go. Maybe he might be looking at putting Wan-Bissaka in that holding midfield role as a spare player as well. If he's just sit in the middle, do the tackling and allow Rodriguez to do the playing or Alvarez to do the playing, that could be an option. Maybe he's thinking. Maybe Lopetegui's playing 3D chess.
Maybe.
We're all just behind.
maybe. I mean, look, of course, there's new roles now in the modern game, like we've just discussed for nearly half an hour. But I want my defenders to defend. So I'm all right if Wan-Bissaka's a solid defender because a lot of the time, a team like West Ham are going to be under the cosh. If we're like away at Anfield or away at the Etihad, I want to make sure that we're defensively solid first. But yeah, it's interesting, these new positions. So just to finish up for a little bit of fun, I was laying in bed. This is going to sound terribly perverted. I was laying in bed the other night. I should say it like this. I was laying in bed thinking, pull Dick off.
That's a bit weird.
In the end, I didn't because the wife was stirring and awake. So I was thinking about
too much detail.
If anything, not enough. This is why people subscribe. Funny player names. There's been some crackers down the years.
Yeah.
Have you got any off the top of your head? Yeah, I've got a few. I've got written down as well. I've searched a few. But before looking at that, I've got Paul Dickoff. I've got Daniel Dichio.
Danny Dichio, yeah.
There's Bernd Haas.
Seaman.
There's no way that's pronounced Stefan Kuntz, but they all decided that's what they were going to say. Right?
It works.
That's not how you or me would have read that word, is it? That's not how we would have read his name.
You got the right back as well, Bernd Haas.
I just said that.
Oh, did you? I was thinking Stefan Kuntz. Sorry about that.
No, before that. I had a Bernd Haas. And
I thought you were talking about the Indian.
And one that was in the press for a word I won't say on here because we'll get our channel taken down, but RAPE, ironically, David Goodwillie.
Yeah.
Not that good, clearly.
Goodwillie. He was supposed to be like the Scottish Rooney, wasn't he?
He was at Dundee at one point, wasn't he?
Dundee, went to Blackburn,
yeah.
Well, I've looked up a few. I've got the classic, we'll stay in England first. So you got Danny Shitu, we spoke about.
Danny Shitu, another QPR player, wasn't he?
Yeah. I found one in South America called Fabian Assmann. He was a goalkeeper that played in South America. Fabian Haussmann.
Right.
Who else we got? I'll save that one. I'll save that one because that goes with the woman footballer from.
Yeah.
From
Is it
FIFA.
Ralph? Is it Ralph?
Yeah, Ralph Minch.
Yeah.
Then we've also got Janina Minch.
Janina what?
Janina Minch.
Janina
Minch, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a winger called Wayne Wanklins.
Brilliant. I've got a Swiss striker here called Andre Muff. Hang on, Wolfgang Wolf.
Wolfgang Wolf. I've got Jiz Hornkamp.
I've got Angelico Fucks. Actually spelt like that as well. Let me try and get it on.
Wow, amazing. I've got
Cheeky Arse.
Cheeky Arse. What a player he was, though.
Cheeky Arse, yeah.
Javier Cheeky Arse.
Yeah.
I've got Rod Fanner.
I've got Michael Gash.
I've got one who plays for Belgium, Anil Cox.
I've got Danger Fourpence.
Danger Fourpence. Right, I will have to show you this one because I don't think I could say this one. This one.
Oh, that's brilliant. And this over the Sega Bastard.
Bastardo.
How about this one? That one was a bit. Hang on. Naughty.
And the one beneath that, I remember him, Danny Invincible. He played for Swindon.
He was.
Yeah.
Kilmarnock and Swindon.
Yeah, Danny Invincible. So anyone else got any good names they can add on here? By all means, drop a couple of comments on it. Let us know.
I've also got Czech defender that was linked to Man City and Leeds, right? Milan fuck all. Oh, wow. No, that's not true, surely. Next one. Former Middlesbrough striker, helping them win promotion to the Premier League. I do remember him. Before obtaining cult hero status. You fucks. You fucks. Oh, shut. That's not fucking real, surely. I'm going to have to show you this one. You can read it out. Right. An Algerian footballer in the 70s. Right. Let me get.
Ars Bandit.
Ars Bandit. Ars Bandit.
Ars Bandit.
How have we missed Dean Windass? Dean Windass.
Yes, and Josh. Jesus Christ.
Windass. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's Stefan Kuntz, our mate.
Stefan.
Mate, there's a few brilliant ones here. Yeah, like Kanye says, if you can think of any others, leave them in the comments because it gives us a good laugh. Another good episode, mate. Enjoyed that. Yeah,
another good one, another good laugh. Hope everyone is well out there. And don't forget, get on the YouTube, get on that, give us a like, give us comments on there. Because at the minute, we search for us and other people are popping in front of us and we're not happy. Yeah, we're not happy at all. We need to, the more people that engage with us, the further up the search we get. In a minute, it's a bit of a mission to even find us. But we've gone from 2 subscribers to 5 to 7 to 12. I think this morning we're on 40. So getting there. It's a start. We're getting there.
It's a start, mate. It's a start. Look, thanks for joining us. Make sure you interact with us, like and comment. And until next time on
Opinions from Offside.
We'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys.